There is this TV program called Undercover Boss. It started in 2009 in the UK, and the idea of this program is that they take a high-level manager and they send them undercover to be a new employee in the company. And this person gets to experience the company from a different perspective altogether, and they usually have really interesting insights with regards to their company. I often entertain the thought of, wouldn't it be wonderful if every health professional could go undercover? The only problem with that is that to be undercover as a health professional, which means you need to be sick. And since I don't wish sickness upon any of you, maybe it's not such a good idea. One of our colleagues, a young physio, had a brain bleed, and she did become a client, from a clinician to a client, and had an experience of the health system. And the two interesting things she talks about is, one, how powerless she felt, and two, how little information she had, or how much more information she wanted to have. And that made me think, how are we as clinicians? Do we actually give our clients as much information as we could? Is that the kind of information we wanted if we were clients ourselves? So, for example, I've heard many clinicians say to their clients, oh, look, we don't know how much recovery you'll be able to do. We don't know if you'll be able to walk again. All sorts of predictions or questionable predictions or inability to predict. Whilst in fact, if you look at the brain scans and you look very carefully where the lesion is and what anatomical structures are affected, you can already start having ideas of what sort of functions might be affected, what scope of recovery there is. And it doesn't mean that you know exactly where this person is going to end up. Of course you don't, but you can get general ideas and you can share your knowledge with your client, show them the images, talk with them about the images, and share with them the bits you're not sure about. I think they will appreciate that. So the Tibetan Buddhists talk about kindness and compassion as something that you can always cultivate to have more of. And this is what I'm challenging you to do, to develop even more kindness and compassion towards your clients. Consider how else you can share information with them. Consider what brain images can you share with them? What sort of discussions can you have around those images? How can you give them more information about their condition? And I'll even go one step further and say that if you have those kind of conversations and kind of information that you give to your clients, when they hit Google and start typing their questions, those questions will yield them more informative results, because they will type in more specific questions that are more relevant, that will guide them to better websites, as opposed to typing in random questions. So I hope you see the link between kindness, compassion, clients, and brain imaging. And I hope I convinced you to take your kindness, compassion, and brain imaging a step further. I'll see you in the next video.